Well, for the last 30 plus years, I've been documenting humanity around the world in more than 150 countries, and it was really intended to bring about dignity and beauty, inspire unity and diversity. I had been asked to exhibit at the Vancouver Peace Summit with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and other Nobel laureates, and it was there that I first learned about slavery. That was over 10 years ago. And I'd known there was some trafficking, which I assumed to be sex, but I had no idea of the sheer amount of numbers and the forced labor that exists in our world. And I think it really troubled me because, I'm a photographer. My whole career is based on observing others, and I totally missed it. So I flew down to Los Angeles, and I met with the founders of an organization called Free the Slaves. We decided to collaborate, and interestingly, I would go to many countries I had already been to, but this time I would actually see slavery. And I really wanted to do the project because if I don't know, how many other people don't know, right? And seeing is believing. And I think a photograph has that ability to transcend language. It doesn't need words. It speaks on its own accord viscerally with a viewer. And my hope really is that when a viewer stands in front of an image of a fellow human being on the planet, that in that image there's a person in a dire circumstance, but they still have their dignity, That as a viewer, we're going to want to say, hey, I've got to do something. I want to lend a hand and help. 10 years ago, the organizations that were fighting slavery, and there weren't very many, they couldn't even get funding because nobody believed it existed. I remember in 2014, I was invited to be a witness at the Vatican. Pope Francis had drawn together a diverse group of, religious leaders to sign this unprecedented document to end slavery. That was a first real reckoning to me that people were taking notice. And just recently, when I was at the UN's General Assembly speaking, I saw that there was so much focus placed on slavery. We have a long way to go, no doubt, but that people are taking notice and implementing laws that already exist and changing things so that people can be accountable for, trafficking others. What I want to see happening in the future, say 10 years' time, is that there is absolute awareness amongst government and amongst business, because we all play a part, knowingly or unknowingly, in slavery by what we buy, by what we eat, what we wear. Not only should traffickers be held accountable, but there should really be available space and finances that can support the victims of traffickers. Being a part of this project, to have Parliament really see and understand what is occurring in our world, that's inspiring to me, to know that this is getting in front of people that really have the power to make a change.